Are you worried about your bills and trying to decide what the best course of action is to resolve your financial problems? Many people start to wonder if they missed something as they move through their education. As adults, we should be aware of good financial management principles. It seems, though, that either a lot of students failed that course or it was never offered. The good news is that you don't need to get a degree from an Ivy League university to fix your financial problems. Here are 10 steps to solve your money and debt problems. Before starting, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. So let's start. Number 10. Live on cash for 2 weeks. When was the last time you paid cash for everything you bought? By using debit and credit cards, many people develop bad financial habits and lose the ability to distinguish between what they can afford to pay for and what they can afford to buy. If you have the cash to make a purchase or not, it is very obvious. Number 9. Become mindful of your spending. Think on what you learned about your spending patterns by just using cash. Was paying with cash rather than a credit card easier or harder? Did you have enough money to buy all you wanted to, or did you only buy what you needed? How much money did you have left in the end? Some research indicate that switching from cash to credit card can lead to customers spending up to 15% more on each purchase. If you want debt relief that lasts a lifetime, be aware of your spending because increased spending on every purchase adds up over time. Number 8. Find out where your money goes. What happens to everything, every payday? Money is sent into our bank account, but it never seems to stay for long enough. Good money management requires being aware of where your money is going. And even the most seasoned financial expert finds this exercise to be very enlightening. Quote about how using a credit card rather than cash results in consumers spending more money. Record your expenditures in a small notepad, a piece of software or an app, or in our expense tracker. You might find that tracking your spending at specific stores is easier than keeping track of the money you spend on particular expenses, such coffee or drinks purchased at a restaurant. Number 7. Create a spending plan or budget to solve and prevent financial problems. Making a monthly budget for your expenses is one of the best things you can do for your finances. But it's also the most usually neglected solution for most people's financial problems. It makes life so much easier to be able to choose how you want to spend your money thanks to a budget or spending plan. Ironically, you'll probably never learn about it in a seminar at Harvard or Cambridge. Not to pick on these schools specifically, but the majority of colleges don't teach their students how to create budgets. If there is an expense in your budget, start by reducing it by 50%. This will show that you have the endurance to see things through. Number 6. Find a replacement for one large expense in your monthly budget. If you substitute something else for it, it is easier to reduce an expense or change a habit. If you want to break the habit, think about how you will replace the expensive coffee you purchase on the way to work. Consider buying yourself a new travel mug and some of your favorite coffee. Then change your routine so you won't be tempted to stop for coffee anyway. For as by taking a different route to work, cutting back on your coffee intake is but one illustration. What about reducing your expenditure on recreational and leisure activities, quitting smoking, or entertainment costs? Number 5. Identify expenses you can reduce. Decide which budgetary areas need additional attention throughout the course of the upcoming month. Look for ways to reduce the cost of your utility bills. When you're not home, turn down the heat, turn out the lights, and wash your clothing in cold water rather than hot. If you have both a house phone and a cell phone, ask yourself if you truly need both. It could be difficult to change routines. Make a note of any products or services you are still paying for but no longer need. Many clients just allow their bundled services to continue on a month-to-month basis, even when their needs have changed. This could be as a result of their being too busy to properly study their bills. But taking the time to do so and contacting the service providers to change service plans or completely stop receiving services can help you find a lot of hidden money. If you haven't guessed it yet, your 5th step is to determine which expenditures you can reduce before developing a plan to put your improvements into practice. You'll know this stage is complete when your bills start to go down a little. Number 4. Create a plan to pay off your debt. Given that everyone has some, is it really such a huge deal? It is indeed feasible. If your debt has accumulated gradually over time, you need real debt solutions that work with your lifestyle rather than quick fixes that you can't keep up. Your income will likely decrease over time, possibly after you retire. As interest rates finally start to climb. When one of these things occurs and you have relied on credit to get by, you will need to make some unpleasant choices. When you deal with your debt sooner rather than later, you have more options. Despite this, many people delay seeking debt relief due to embarrassment or a lack of knowledge about where to turn. Here is some of our best guidance on debt management. These tips will help you finish step 6 in. Create a plan to pay off your debts while maintaining a livable standard of life. You won't be able to accomplish this phase successfully unless you have a realistic strategy and employ the knowledge you gained from the previous 5 phases. Number 3. Educate yourself and keep improving your level of financial literacy. One of the best traits a top university can cultivate in its students is the desire to learn more. Learning from our mistakes in whatever way is advantageous, especially when we educate ourselves on better debt and money management strategies. Increasing our financial awareness is always a good thing, but remember that the journey, not the endpoint, is what matters. Your 8th step is to keep learning. Accept additional responsibilities or tasks from the Common Sense School. With the help of life skills that further solidify your new money habits, your budget will stay on track, you'll stay out of financial trouble, and you'll be able to successfully plan for the future. And this graduate deserves to be celebrated. Number 2. Get help with your debts and your budget. If you need help managing your bills and finances, don't be afraid to ask for it. Your final step is optional, but doing it will earn you a bonus. Seek professional, unbiased advice from a reputable nonprofit credit counseling organization for a second perspective on your spending plan and your debt repayment plan. You'll know you've finished this phase when you've gained new insight into how to manage your debts more skillfully and implement your budget realistically. Any worthwhile solution needs time to be put into practice. Your debt didn't build up overnight, and paying it off will probably take as long as getting an Ivy League education. Number 1. Increase your income. Think about ways to increase your income to resolve your financial problems. Here are some potential examples. Ask your boss whether you can work more hours. Offer products and services to increase revenue. Any items you no longer need, sell them. Choose a roommate, get a second job, and be wary of ads that promise quick cash because they typically include fraud. This is it for today's video. What do you think of our video? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. Thanks for watching.